Hello there, Internet. My name is Mogwai, and ahead of us lies yet another brilliant day in the arena. As today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to showcase the deck with the worst name so far. I preemptively apologize for this. I've been slacking, okay? I've been slacking with my deck names, and this was awful. So, CSI Lichami, because Lich Knight's Conquest, Miami, I'm sorry. Let's move on. And let's actually focus on the deck itself, because this is a pretty, it's a pretty quirky concept on a Reanimator deck. Because we have essentially a Rakdos Reanimator deck that's not playing the push and pull, and instead is built around the Lich Knight's Conquest. This is a 5-mana sorcery spell that says sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, and or tokens, and then return that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. This can be, with the right setup, it can be a monstrous effect. But because this sort of card like synergizes with stuff like artifacts and tokens and enchantments, it can be quite tricky to actually build a dedicated deck that's focused on getting the most value out of this, while also having that deck be able to enable this card's requirement, right? You have only so much space in every Magic the Gathering deck, and one of the things is, with this kind of strategy, you got to bring in the Reanimator targets, like the big cards that we're trying to cheat out, but we also need to bring in removal, and we need to bring in a good solid curve that can allow us to apply pressure beforehand, and we need to have stuff that enables artifacts, enchantment, tokens, to be sacrificed, right? Like, we need the fodder as well, and we have to make it all fit together and work consistently. And I find that designing Reanimator decks in Magic like this is definitely one of the trickier things that I've had to do so far, honestly. But I'm really happy with what we have going on here. So let's explain. Let's try to explain what's going on here. Blood Spatter Analysis, the card that this card is built around. So when I decided to make a deck around Blood Spatter Analysis, I didn't immediately think, oh, you know what, let's make a Reanimator deck. I just wanted to make a deck built around it. So the first iteration of this deck was actually very different, but Blood Spatter Analysis is a 2-mana Rakdos enchantment that says when it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature an opponent controls. So we're able to play this, deal 3 damage to the creature, and kill most 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drops creatures in Magic with 1 shot. And then whenever 1 or more creatures die, you mill a card and put a Bloodstain counter on the analysis, the enchantment. Then you can sacrifice it if it has 5 or more counters on it, and when you do, you return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So you're not bringing it out to the battlefield. This is not the card that's like reanimating for us. Like I've already mentioned, that's Lich Knight's Conquest. This is the card that we use to bring stuff back. We don't actually care as much about the secondary or the third effect, the part about sacrificing this, essentially. What we care about this is this card can allow us to consistently mill through our deck while also being removal. That's the perk, right? We have a card that allows us to deal with an early threat, but then also contributes towards our strategy by filling up our graveyard with, hopefully, big boy creatures to bring back. It's a Rakdos deck, and we're playing a Traxa. Yes. She's like the best 7-drop in the game and has an upon entry effect, so it's kind of like silly to not put her in a Reanimator list like this. Even though we cannot cast her, because we're playing black, we have the ability to either mill her with stuff like Blood Spatter Analysis or with our full set of Rokouuu's Theater, or we can actually discard her with Bitter Triumph and Liliana of the Veil if she's sitting in our hand. So we have multiple ways to send our big boy dudes onto the graveyard and then bring them back for much, much less. As we got Homicide Investigator. Homicide Investigator gives us card draw, but also generating the clues are artifacts. So it's generating artifacts that we can potentially sack with Lich Knight's Conquest as well. Speaking of artifacts, we have Annihilating Glare, which is a really good removal for these sort of decks because we can utilize it on one of our creatures. We sacrifice one of our creatures to destroy another creature or planeswalker, or we can actually sacrifice something like a clue that we generated with Homicide Investigator, with and then destroy a creature for just 1 mana. Even if it's a sorcery speed, the fact that it's 1 mana is very, very nice. We have the Greedy Freebooter as our 1-drop of choice, because when this guy dies, we get to scry and create a treasure token. That treasure token can be used to ramp into one of these creatures, or it can be used to be sacked for Lich Knight's Conquest to have another resurrection proc happening. We were running a one-off of Gleamo Demolition because this card can give us tokens that we can use with the Conquest, and also can be used in conjunction with Annihilating Glare to give us some extra fodder, and just, you know, board presence early on that can be very reliable and very easy card to enable in this kind of deck. But also in a pinch can be used to destroy an opposing artifact as well in artifact-based matchups. So I do like it as a one-off. I kind of wish it could be a 2-of, but I don't really... Not really certain what to take out for it, because like I said, the slots in this deck are very tight, you know, like I want the amount of big creatures that I have to remain the same. I could have picked something better than Abyssal Gorestalker in this deck specifically, but I am keeping this deck rotation proof. As you guys can see, there's not a single card that's going to rotate in this deck. I'm going to keep things like this right now, or for now, because, you know, we're about to hit, you know, we're like, what, 11 days from rotation? So, you know, I'm gonna stick to that formula right there. As then Liliana of the Veil, very important because you can discard our big cards if we have them in our hand, and it's just a great planeswalker, while Lord Skitter allows us to generate rat tokens, which we can use to sack for Lich Knight's Conquest later down the line, while being a fantastic 3-drop that allows us to run graveyard interaction as well, which is really important. And then when it comes to the big boy creatures, we got the Abyssal Gorestalker, we got the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, which is really a 3-drop, but if it dies, or if it's discarded or milled, then we can bring it back as a 7/5. What I like about the Phyrexian Fleshgorger as well here is that because it's an artifact creature, it can, for example, with the Traxa, we can pick the Phyrexian Fleshgorger and still pick up a creature on top of that because it's counting it as an artifact. And because it's an artifact, we can also sack it with Lich Knight's Conquest if it's in a 3-drop in the prototype mode. We sack it and then we bring it back as a 7/5 instead of a 3/3, which is a nice perk to have. This allows us to run a target, an end game, you know, something big to bring back from the graveyard that can be played on turn 3 against aggressive decks as well, which makes it fit this deck like an absolute glove. The fact that it's an artifact creature is like icing on the cake, essentially. As we got Atali, motherfucking Atali, alongside Atraxa as our big boy opponent tree effects. And, you know, what's more to say about these? We want to put them in the graveyard and bring them back with Lich Knight's Conquest in numbers. So that's essentially what the deck is all about. This is the land distribution that we went for. We got Black Cleave Cliffs, we got Rokouuu Theater, we got Sulphurous Springs. All these lands are not rotating. Mirrex is very important. Can be played on that keen turn 2 to play Blood Spatter Analysis if we're running low on red sources. But more importantly, can generate Phyrexian Mites for quite a bit of investment, but in dragged out matches, it's really important because we're getting tokens that can be sacked by Lich Knight's Conquest or even Gleeful Demolition. Like, they basically synergize with everything in our deck that is synergizing with artifacts or tokens, which is why I really, really like them. This mana source here, right here. Especially against control matchups that can drag out a little bit more, being able to keep generating these Phyrexian Mites can be really annoying for the opponent. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deck list right there. Not the longest deck tech ever. You know what? I think I'm proud of myself today. You know, we kept it under 9 minutes. About to not be the case, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Magic the Gathering content. Hope you enjoy today's game. Leave a like, god fucking damn it, for Lich Knight's Conquest or for the terrible deck name. Just forget about it, please. Love ya. Enjoy the matches, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here we go. What an awful name. What an awful deck name. At least the deck is cool. Maybe I'm biased in this opinion, but I do have to set my game up with how I name my decks. I think I've fallen off a little bit. Double Lich Knight's Conquest, a 3-lander with a freebooter into a Homicide Investigator. Like, what's not to like about this hand? I'm going to lead off with the Greedy Freebooter immediately. I have no turn 3 play, so for now I'm just going to try to play optimally and develop my threats here. I have to drop one of them. I have nothing else to discard, unfortunately. Tiny Bones joins up. Hits us rather hard here. Followed by Tiny Bones. The milling will benefit us. And they just... People always go for the mill effect without like taking into account the matchup. It's kind of crazy to me how often this happens. I'm gonna mill that land away. I'm gonna fall back because Tiny Bones has Death Touch, and I don't want to lose my Homicide Investigator, and I want to preserve the Greedy Freebooter as a blocker. Watch them go for the mill again because they have to trigger that ability, and they just keep feeding my graveyard. Just keep putting big, like, keep doing that. That is an excellent block for us. That must mean they have another one. And now I'm going to use the clue to draw before they get to mill me. They keep milling because they just can't help themselves. I have a treasure. So I'm going to play Liliana because I got me a treasure, which allows me to play Bitter Triumph if I need to. I probably should just do that now to try to push some damage. Get rid of that since we have another Bitter Triumph in hand and try to keep the pressure here. I guess they'll get the other Bitter Triumph there. And that to get rid of Liliana, so that's great. I'm gonna keep this swamp in hand in case they have more discard procs.
Nobody knows Dominaria shadows like how. One of your friends has to leave.
We have a clue there, which we could potentially sack, but we have no worthy sack outlets here. Or resurrection targets. Maybe, honestly, probably Lord Skitter at this point. They had Karvik. I probably should have focused.
I'm tired of your secrets.
In case they run Karvik, I'm going to take out that Bitter Triumph. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct the attack from Lord Skitter onto Liliana, and this little rat goes face. They have Merrick's, though. We got to keep that in mind.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
In case they top deck something like Hostile Investigator, I'm not playing any more mind games. I'm just going to drop my lands. Not give them the discards. Watch them mill me again. Oh, they just... I mean, now with Lord Skitter, they can get rid of the tally. That was a strong top deck for them. I'm in a position where I could be top decking weak stuff, though. I need to hold back. Good draw. Perfect. Perfect. We get that clue, but we don't need to sack the clue. We can sack the tokens. Now, we have 1, 2, and 3. A worthy conquest. Lich Knight's Conquest. We sack 3 rats. And we rebuild the board. There we go. We're back. We need that feel, and we need to make those trades to trigger that feel. They play Deep Cavern Bat, hoping to hit something in our hand. And now we just gotta make it so we don't die to these bats. We're low. But we have the clues. We have the information. We have 2 tokens. Gotta keep drawing. Nice. It's very tight, very tight situation. We're so low, and these bats just keep flowing over us, and we have no way to stop them right now. They have no blockers here as they attack with these 2. We have one hell of a swing here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we got him! And we got him, baby! Let's go! Oh, man, that was grindy as hell. That was grindy as hell because they had graveyard interaction as well, and we just could not get the big... You know, once we start getting big units into the graveyard, they had their own Lord Skitter. And bats are just really efficient as always, and I started losing hope for a moment. It's just like, these bats are just going to slowly chip away at me. And I also have to keep in mind like how many blocks I have in the back, because these tokens, you know, can pile up and can lead to more damage. Shieldred would be backbreaking. So this was a very close, very intense game, but, you know, went our way. Main character syndrome? Let's go with that. Round 2. All right. I'm going to keep this hand because we have a Liliana into Atraxa. I'm also going to keep that there, though it is greedy. I do need that resurrection. It's a bit of a... We're definitely keeping a slow hand here, don't get me wrong. But having the ability to bring Atraxa in Okay, this deck may be more aggressive than I gave it credit for. If they don't spawn anything, though, this Liliana is going to be really useful.
A fight? And you think you can win? I've always hated crowds.
But of course, I'm hoping for them to not have a haste unit, but this is Naya, the red, definitely. They play the Picnic Ruiner, and okay, so that's great. They allow me to untap with Liliana, which is absolutely huge. I'm gonna go for the +1, and I'm gonna discard Atraxa. They lose a Plains. We're gonna be playing Lord Skitter. Lord Skitter into a Swamp. Target the Visitor. Good series of attacks here. Wait, why are they not?
Isn't how things were supposed to go.
Why did they not swing with that? What the f? Okay. I'm gonna let combat go by to spawn another rat. Not gonna attack, and then I'm gonna develop this. And bring in Atraxa, baby. And look at all this value. Regarding sorceries, yeah, let's get another Lich Knight's Conquest. We have creatures. I think I like. I mean, another Atraxa can be very nice, but I also. We definitely want Liliana, the Planeswalker. And then we got a creature and a land. Regarding lands. We have enough untapped, so let's get a Rakkus Streeter in case we want that Surveil effect. And then when it comes to our two creatures here, we do have Liliana into that, into like another Atraxa potentially. So why not take another Atraxa? Oh, because I can get an artifact too. Oh my god, that is broken. That is insane. Okay. Just like that. We refuel, baby. Gonna have to trade into this monster. This absolute monster. Atraxa, getting rid of that huge threat. Oh. Oh my god. Perfection. Blood spatter analysis. Get rid of this fucking asshole. I hate that guy. I cannot wait for Kumana to rotate. I swear to god. They get to draw 2 cards. I realized I should have dropped my tap land. I miscounted. I derped.
Oh, this might finish before brunch. You won't be outsmarted.
Took away half of what they got there. Hit him. Hit him with a rat. Fuck them, that's why. We're at 22 health. Anin Pakal can be granted haste with his enchantment right here. The Invigorating Hot Spring.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Yeah, I didn't want that anyways. And now we just keep doing obscene shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we could surveil into something. I mean, we're gonna bring back what? Atraxa? We'd like to bring something more in than Atraxa if we can. So let's drop the Rokouuu Theater now because we could. Yeah. Hit with the rat. And now Sack you and the blood spatter analysis with Lich Knight's Conquest. And start over, baby. Start all over again. Another. An enchantment. Nothing like a good old swamp. And when it comes to creatures, I'm gonna take a tally. What am I missing? That's all of them, right? And we got a flesh forger. Flesh gorger. Okay, so it has trample. And we shut him down. We shut him down like nobody's been shut down before. That was glorious. That's why we play Atraxa. If you're playing Reanimator and you have enough sources of like milling and discard, put a couple of copies of Atraxa, man. There's just nothing in Standard that feels so good to bring out from the graveyard. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of people, oh, it's just another Atraxa that could cry to somebody else, Timmy. God damn it. Gotta win here. Game 3. Lee, you're my final test for Diamond Tier 2 Lee. We have Liliana of the Veil, we have the blood spatter analysis, multiple sources of removal. 2 lands, but we're going second. And again, with 2 landers, if I'm going second, I keep him. I may regret it, but it's a gamble that I'm willing to take. We have the blood spatter analysis, but they've yet to like develop anything on the board. I'm developed the Homicide Investigator. I could play Liliana, but I don't like Liliana in this scenario because I don't really have discard targets in my hand right now. Oh boy. They're coming. But Liliana has to happen now, yeah. We do find the target. Let's get information first.
But don't overthink things.
Gonna try to punish this greed. Interesting. I'm gonna keep the Homicide Investigator in the back to protect my Liliana. The 2 damage is definitely worth pushing for, but I think we're gonna win this game if we manage to just overwhelm them with our size, even though War Leader's Call is a thing. Jesus. Jesus. Well, they got rid of Liliana. They don't like Liliana.
Sorry, I'm not interested in dying today.
We gotta go with this. And try to set up a Lich Knight's Conquest. We need to draw into a 5th land, though. That's the only way we get back into this game, by being able to drop these huge-ass creatures that we just developed there. But we need to survive until then. And surviving, depending on what they have. Like, if they have another one of these, we're dead. Shit. We were on our way, man, but yeah, that double War Leader's Call into this insane burst, that's definitely not something that we match up well into, because our lack of interaction with enchantments especially was a big problem here. And what we did have in the actual setup for the deck, we were too slow for the matchup. That's Magic the Gathering, man. There's so many different strategies, so many different... And sometimes you run into something that is just like, man, this is so good against us. Let's try to get back into it. Game 4. Fill. Just fill. Nothing else. It's not the ideal hand, but it'll work. Because I have early development with a greedy freebooter that can also be ramp potentially. We have a turn to develop the Rakkus Theater, and then we can black cleave cliffs into Lord Skitter. This line of play will change if I draw another one of these, but I don't. I'm gonna go ahead and swing first. We see a Siobhan Reef, so Gleeful Demolition could be pretty good actually, because this could be an artifact deck. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna attempt to play Lord Skitter. I have to do so before the combat. Otherwise, I won't get the rat. But if I get the rat, that's great. It's phenomenal. We're just gonna keep developing, keep pushing damage. We could run into a Brotherhood's End. They could develop another red source of mana here and completely wipe us. But at least we'll get, yeah. We'll get the Scry effect. We don't need another one of those. We need to find lands, and we get the treasure. And now we just go with you again. I could... No, I can't destroy that without bopping that, so... Also, like, now we know, like, spreading out is not hyper efficient here. I don't know if there's a game where the Abyssal Gorestalker will shine. Oh. Double shock? Double shock onto Lord Skitter. 2-for-1 trade right there, ladies and gentlemen. Two-for-one trade right there. I could Gleeful Demolition this treasure, but I'm choosing not to. Because, again, they have Brotherhood's End. I want to keep this treasure because now that I have Atraxa there, I'm just one land away from being able to bring her back. Great. Great blood spreader target. I could develop another Homicide Investigator at this point. I could try to spread out. They could just wipe me. I'm not going to overcommit. I've already seen the Brotherhood's End, and me going for this or popping my treasure and then getting blown back really sets us back. What is that? A Slick Shot Show-Off. This is always scary. But I honestly doubt they can kill me with just 3 lands. Like, yes, they run stuff like this, which can give them double strike, and that's scary. But they still would need to get its attack to like 10, and I don't see how that happens. Like, there it is. Oh, but no, but they're just going for a copy of that, okay. This is kind of rough now because if I play the Abyssal Gorestalker, I actually lose my Abyssal Gorestalker as well. Getting rid of this is really important though. Do we expect to die? I'm gonna bluff the fact that I have an answer here by taking my time. Okay, we shut him down. Okay. Okay, that was a bit scary because we were a bit open there, but we got a lot of resources out of them. And, you know, we didn't really get to showcase the Abyssal Ghost Stalker because they kept bouncing our shit, but it's just like this. This guy comes down and just allows me to wipe the board, like early development in that sense. Or like, you know, board states where there's like just only a few like very threatening creatures. We needed to, I mean, once we drew Lich Knight's Conquest, like this was insane, right? Like we have the treasure token, we have the enchantment, and we have this, so we could bring back Atraxa, and then also Lord Skitter and Homicide Investigator amongst others. Like this, it's, I like Reanimator decks, and I think this is a rather unique take on it, and I like talking about it. Okay, I'll stop rambling. The audio is good, right? Okay, it's working. Next round. Martin Zegers. Getting close to infinite. We're going first, and we have a 2-lander. But I'm going to keep it. This is risky. I could, but I have a bunch of 2-mana plays, so even if I get mana screwed, I have the ability to do things. Kitesail Freebooter, interesting. Never punished. I understand I allow them to scry and everything, but I do want to get rid of this because I have stuff like Liliana. I could develop Liliana next turn and deal with with just one creature there. We mill a land, which sucks. Expect Liliana to go down here. And now we play the Homicide Investigator. So they're playing Binding Negotiation. Seems to be mono black. Caustic Bronco. And that thing. If a creature an opponent controls will die, exile is dead. Yeah, this creature is like super freaking annoying. I'm gonna develop Lord Skitter. They don't have a clear attack with Caustic Bronco as long as I have this Lord Skitter on the board. Drawing the 5th land is a good thing because it'll enable the Lich Knight's Conquest, which is what we want to be working towards here. I could kill you before drawing. I don't know what I could draw that would change my mind. But there are things like Lilia. Okay, we take some damage there. We could have avoided, but I wanted because if I top decked another Itali, that's fantastic. It's very powerful. There it is. There it is. This card like hard counters my Investigator, which is really annoying. I just need that 5th land. Just need that 5th land and we're so good to go. Phyrexian Obliterator. just want to get rid of this fucking thing. Come on. Come on. Come on. Land. Yes! Yes! Okay. Okay. Huge. Atraxa and a tally. So we just need to sack 2. The Phyrexian Mize is just inherently worth more. So I'm going to sack 2 rat tokens. Here we go! 2 rat tokens! Unification time. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's get you. We get to get various creatures in case you're wondering, and let's just get ourselves a Forest Springs. Let's get ourselves a Lich Knight's Conquest. Bitter Triumph. And we're gonna get the Horror as well. Oh, level up! Day! Tier 2, baby. Can I look at the I guess I can't look at my options anymore. Okay, I can. So I was gonna complete the Abyssal Ghost Stalker. Like, it's so good in this situation, right? Because it comes in, each player has to sacrifice 2 creatures, and I can just sacrifice 2 fodder. Oh my. Oh, and Itali led to double attraction. That's just absolutely disgusting. That's what this deck is all about. That's what this deck is all about. It's a quirky Reanimator deck, man, and it's just fun. I'm a sucker for these archetypes, and I think we got a good session. You know, we got 40 minutes in. You know, plus the deck tech and all that. I think we got a video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Magic the Gathering content. Hope you enjoyed today's games, and hope you enjoy tomorrow's too, and the day after that. I'll keep it coming. I'll try at least. Love you. Have a soul day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.